January 1940, the Soviet Union continues its aggression in the Winter War against Finland. Soviet forces launch a major offensive against Finland, eventually leading to the signing of the Moscow Peace Treaty on March 12, 1940. Eventually, Finland was forced to sue for peace and signed the Moscow Peace Treaty, which resulted in territorial concessions and the loss of the Karelian Isthmus and other areas to the Soviets. Although Finland lost some territory, it did manage to keep its independence and avoided becoming a Soviet puppet state. In February 1940, as part of Germany's strategy to soften Britain's defences and prepare for a possible invasion, the Luftwaffe conducted its first air raids on British coastal towns and military installations. April 9, 1940, Germany invades Norway and Denmark. In an effort to secure iron ore shipments from Sweden and preempt potential British interference, Germany launched surprise invasions of Norway and Denmark. Despite initial resistance from Norwegian and Danish forces, German military superiority allowed for the swift occupation of both countries. May 10, 1940, Germany launches a surprise attack on Western Europe, swiftly invading Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, and France. This maneuver caught the Allies off guard, allowing German forces to make rapid advances. Overwhelming the Low Countries' defences, German forces rapidly advanced, bypassing the heavily fortified Maginot Line to infiltrate France. The surrender of Belgium allowed Germany to tighten its grip on Western Europe and strengthen its position in the region. Known as the Blitzkrieg or Lightning War, Germany executed a lightning-fast offensive against Western Europe. May 13–14, 1940, German forces trap and defeat a large portion of the British Expeditionary Force and French troops at the Battle of Dunkirk. Despite being trapped, the Allies managed to execute a massive evacuation operation known as Operation Dynamo, saving over 338,000 soldiers by utilizing a fleet of naval vessels, civilian boats, and air cover. The successful evacuation of Allied soldiers from Dunkirk is carried out between May 26 and June 4, 1940. Despite significant losses in equipment, the evacuation provided a crucial boost to British morale and preserved a substantial portion of the Allied forces for future operations. June 10, 1940, Italy declares war on France and the United Kingdom. Seizing the opportunity presented by the deteriorating situation in France, Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, declared war on France and the United Kingdom. June 10, 1940, Norway surrenders to Germany, completing the occupation of the country. Despite valiant resistance from Norwegian forces and support from Allied troops, Germany's superior military strength allowed for the successful occupation of Norway. The capitulation of Norway secured Germany's hold on the strategically important nation and its resources. June 14, 1940, German forces enter Paris, and France requests an armistice. The French government, led by Marshal Petain, establishes the Vichy regime in the southern part of the country. Faced with the overwhelming German advance, the French government, under Marshal Petain, sought an armistice, resulting in the division of France into occupied and unoccupied zones. The Vichy regime, collaborating with the Germans, was established in the southern part of France. June 16, 1940, Soviet forces invade Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, annexing them into the Soviet Union. These Baltic countries lost their independence and were subjected to Soviet rule for nearly 5 decades. June 22, 1940, France signs the armistice with Germany, resulting in the division of France into occupied and unoccupied zones. In an effort to spare Paris from further destruction and to protect its cultural heritage, the French government declared the city an open city. This meant that no military resistance would be mounted, allowing the German forces to occupy the city peacefully. June 25, 1940, France formally surrenders to Germany in the Compiègne forest, where the Armistice of 1918 was signed, symbolizing Germany's revenge. The formal surrender of France took place in the same location, the forest of Compiègne, where the Armistice of 1918 had been signed to end World War I. The surrender represented a symbolic reversal of fortunes for Germany, as it sought revenge for its defeat in the previous war. June 28, 1940, Germany begins air raids on British cities, marking the start of the Battle of Britain, an intense air campaign between the Royal Air Force and the Luftwaffe. With France under German control, Germany turned its attention to Britain. The Luftwaffe initiated a series of air raids targeting British cities and infrastructure, aiming to cripple the Royal Air Force and prepare for a potential invasion. The Battle of France showcased Germany's effective use of Blitzkrieg tactics and their ability to bypass the heavily fortified Maginot Line. Meanwhile, in the North Sea region, German forces invaded Norway and Denmark, securing important strategic positions and resources. The beginning of the Battle of Britain marked a critical phase in the war, as Germany sought to establish air superiority over Britain in preparation for a potential invasion. During this period, France experienced a rapid collapse, with the German invasion leading to the fall of Paris and the establishment of the Vichy regime in the southern part of the country. The loss of the Low Countries, and the Soviet occupation of Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania left Great Britain alone. Depleted after the loss of much equipment after Dunkirk, would Hitler try to invade?